I said this in my previous video years ago, how every character in Marvel's Spider-Man 2017, that everyone in the show is not that bad. But at some point, they will end up becoming dislikable for the dumbest reasons. Gwen and Anya comes to mind. But since I'm only talking about one in particular, this one would be for Gwen. I don't hate Gwen. In fact, she's actually great and a badass. But after she got her powers, then loses them and get them back again by just retconning something so they can make the Web Warriors, she should have stayed dead. Don't forget to grab your snacks, make, bake, and call them wheat cakes, and let's go. As Spidey was chasing after the Jackal, calling while fighting, he ends up losing the Grinch. All of the debris falls from the Jackal, playing Parkour on hardcore mode. Everyone runs, but Gwen comes to the rescue to help this poor lady. A lot of nonsense happens from Spidey's reckless decision. Everyone runs away, but Gwen trips. Girl, if you don't get up and run your ass out of there, Spidey wasn't gonna get her in time because it's about to be another canon event. But that never happened because the Jackal saved her. Like, hello? Are you the villain? Why are you saving someone you don't know? And you're not slick enough after starting all of this just to get away from Spider-Man. But Spidey did that crap by accident too, so let's not act like he is in the right either. Let go of me, you creep! I said, get your disgusting ass hands off of me! What kind of last destination does she not understand? I'm gonna take a pause and explain real quick. Now, here's the thing that kind of rubs some people the wrong way with this show. The fact that everyone in this show act like they know everything, including Flash for some case. It's just sad that the main character feels like a side character. Now, if everyone is smart asses like Peter, why are they making the dumbest decisions? Like, let Spider-Man handle it. Y'all got no power. Y'all are weak. And she could have fallen to her death if Spider-Man didn't swoop in to save her. I hate to brag about your strength, but you could have made a web cushion, you know, to save my butt, but you decided to do it your way. We get the Oscorp as Norman is endorsing students to his new school. At least you haven't skipped, Parker. What? I could have been dead if I ran straight. You know what folks always say? The quickest way from point A to point B is the Fortnite bus.
Hey, Pete. You still haven't met Gwen Stacy, have you?
Gwen Stacy? I have. I haven't. I'm Peter.
Bro, stop it. You just met her. As these two are fighting because Norman only enrolled one student to his school, Peter was about to web them a parachute before they got blasted. But Gwen gave this boy common sense to make a net because how are you sure you have enough wet fluid? He makes a net to save everyone, which realistically should have made them deaf. Spidey was able to save the day with less casualties this time, and the guys who used to be frenemies are now friends again. And for Spider-Man, he was confused how they got out of the webs.
It dissolves in an hour, I think.
It hasn't even been an hour! Gwen mentions that they use a substance to melt out of it, but like, how though? Y'all were stuck. Gwen heads home with the groceries. Oh boy, this is gonna be messy. This is Raymond Warren, and he's Gwen's uncle.
No, God!
What's even stranger is that she's supposed to be living with her parents. Her mom, her dad even. After the party was ruined by the Rhino, Pete, Harry, and Gwen examine Alexei, but Gwen noticed something was off. Like, how would someone be able to bond particles to mutate a human with animal DNA? She leaves them to have a talk with her uncle, taking a taxi back to Raymond's house to talk to him without turning the lights on. Like, just turn on the
Lord have mercy!
Spider-Man kicks his way in just in time to protect Gwen. The Grinch. Aw, you remember me. Now let's get bloody. Gwen locks herself in the room while Spider-Man was holding the Jackal bag. She searches on her uncle's computer and finds out in 4K that the Jackal is her uncle.
Well, Just as I thought.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Jackal pinned Spidey to the wall, ready to kill him, monologuing that no one isn't gonna help him. But he forgot the one girl he shouldn't have saved, and now is backstabbing him.
The Jackal is Professor Raymond Warren?
I feel really bad for Gwen though. She really looked up to her uncle, only to end up finding out that he was evil. She stayed to call the cops and clean up all the mess her uncle and Spidey made. But not all of the mess was swept away. That was the pain of being betrayed.
I just don't get it, Peter. Why would Uncle Raymond do this? He's the one who got me into science in the first place. Why would he betray everything he taught me to stand for?
Peter confronts Gwen and mentions about his uncle who motivated him to be a scientist too, that with great power comes great responsibility. But even if the real person that was good is gone, they would still be in her heart, or head, or words.
Thanks for being an important friend.
Gwen was like Peter's support, and a 5 or 6 man if we're talking Marvel rivals. But Gwen was also kicking ass too, before she even got her powers. Speaking of powers, oh boy, I'm gonna make this quick. Peter and Miles sneak into prison to talk to Raymond about his clone, but that ends up being a clone and blows up. They were treated, and now everyone thinks Spider-Man killed a man, including Gwen, who was already upset after finding out her uncle was evil, is dead. Pete comforts her and tells her that it was a fake and the real one was probably still alive. Gwen believes him for some reason and lends him a ride to sit behind her. Girl, you not slick. Harry picks them up. Fast forward, they almost get booby-trapped except for Pete, acting all cool and shit. Fast forward to Midtown High secret lab, the Jackal was cooking up clones to make a spider army. They get backup, plus Spider-Man. Oh no, I'll mind control the lamest hero names. But have no fear, as the Oz Commandos are here. Oh no, bro, this name's lame. Norm becomes heroic, destroying the spider experiments, and everyone fled from the explosion, except for this guy. Gwen is worried about Peter, but he's alright. But then Harry crashes the fuck out on him because he didn't save his dad. But this is not about Harry. This is about Gwen Stacy. Spider-Gwen. Gwen meets up with Peter at Joe's cafe, an awkward conversation. Gwen was working in her lab when she overheard what they were saying. Damn, just imagine she knew Peter was Spider-Man. Gwen asked if Peter felt different after the Jackal's lab exploded. Pete didn't feel anything weird happen and wanted to know why, but we don't get nothing. Not until he loses his stealth suit, at least.
Hiya, boys! Gwen Stacy with spider powers? Is there something you've been meaning to tell us? Guys?
They save Harry from falling to his death. I don't give a damn if you saved my ass. You should have saved my dad. Harry, how could you say that? And you, how long did you have your spider powers? I was about to say, is everybody around here in Jackal's spider army? Harry, just because everyone has spider powers doesn't mean they're part of an army. That's gotta be the weirdest thing I've ever said. Girl, that's not weird. That is straight up facts. Cause Gwen doesn't know how she ended up with her spider powers, but she sure does know how to use them on day one. But the Spider Bros were helping him fight the stealth thief. But that's not gonna stop Harry from hating. Thankfully, Gwen is our eyewitness for this to prove Harry wrong, cause what happened that day was traumatic. Maybe not as traumatic as Otto getting bullied and abused, but another thing I have to point out is, what do you mean you lost your uncle? He's still alive, but he's playing with his clones. But when Gwen mentions about the city losing the school, Spider-Man theorizes the smoke from the explosion gave her spider powers. Harry doesn't have it because he had a mask on the entire time, and he's gonna keep it that way so he doesn't get infected. The Spider Bros teach Gwen how to fly for the very first time, and Gwen was feeling confident to gank this guy from above. Oh, I see. She's one of them diving type players. Just like me when I be maining The stealth thief was getting tired of this girl. He did the old-fashioned way to get rid of her. But this is Gwen Spider, not... Spider-Man is getting his ass whooped, but he should be looking up, cause Spider-Gwen dive kicks him again. The stealth thief wants to get payback, but Spidey knows his ass ain't slick thanks to his thermal detector. Spider-Gwen takes the wheel to shut it off before 10 seconds. Girl, stop the cap! You stopped right before it was gonna hit 0. Spider-Gwen joins the boys, and let's just say she put the stealth thief in his place.
Lord have mercy!
One of the propellers crash into Liberty, and everyone on board is about to die. Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen gets the victims out of the copper to land safely. The monster got away, but what matters was that they saved the day. Not only that, Gwen now has fans, which is great, but really concerning, cause wouldn't that mean a bunch of villains, including her uncle, will know about her identity too? But Miles isn't getting a pass from this either. As she was signing everyone's autographs, crowding up around her, like, give her some space. The sewer gates break. Harry wants to know why the hell Pete would lie to him for not telling him he's Spider-Man, just to be cut off when he witnessed everyone else was acting different. Peter is safe. For now. But he's now feeling like he's not needed anymore. Even when he was about to save someone who doesn't know how the hell to web swing without their license. Spider-Gwen butts in to save them. Spider-Man was literally about to save her. The lady wasn't even near the ground. Everyone cheers for her heroism, but she felt embarrassed. You're embarrassing yourself for not saying you're flattered. There you are. It's official. Everyone loves you. Feel like they barely tolerate me. It's probably the scary costume. My costume? Oh no, is the spandex too tight? Is it the red and blue? Is my eye lens too small? Fam, you made him insecure now. Like, what is even scary about the suit? Like, what about your suit? Nah, this suit is cool. With and without the mask. When is she gonna put the mask on? We're gonna get there. But just like Miles after he got his powers, Gwen doesn't understand that these powers should be used responsibly and not for horsing around the whole city like it's a playground. Like, yeah, it's amazing, but it also can cause consequences like the bad guys. Why are you concerned about them? Speaking of bad guys, Crossbones appears.
Let's do this, Spidey!
No, we don't have enough experience. Leave this to me.
Dude, if you don't let Spider-Gwen on the team...
But that was different.
Spider-Man tells Spider-Gwen to help the victims in the truck while Spider-Man embarrasses himself. Now that he's gone, we can finally get some Gwen action. And catching Spider-Man.
No amateurs are gonna keep me from taking what I want.
Amateurs?
The cops show up to arrest Crossbones, thanking Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man.
Well, what's this?
I like what they were trying to do for the third time, but with Gwen this time. But girl is so stupid. She probably came from Jupid. Cause what Spidey insists was to take it to the police or the Avengers. But no, take it to your school so your best friend can research something they have no business doing just to get rated twice. But this is her second day with spider power, so I'm gonna let it slide. For now, at least. As they were sneaking into the Hydra agent's secret hideout, getting ambushed by Crossbones, cause of course these popos are ass, and Black Widow telling them to forfeit, like what the hell do you mean? Y'all are winning! Spider-Gwen has the nerve to play victim.
Without Black Widow, what are we going to do?
Can I switch teams? Cause these two are bowling it. After 2 minutes being trapped in a fish tank, Black Widow breaks themselves free. And these guys' aims are ass. Like, how did they do this much training just to miss like in the Matrix? But wait! The Hydra agents have spider powers too. Yeah, they are hoeing her after they turn auto aim on. Getting a clean shot too. Gwen is finally about to meet her fate.
I got you! Or not!
She's fine. Everyone is fine. Because you want to know why? Because Spidey's fans come to the rescue. Hydra agents and Aaron Zola retreat, and everyone celebrated. After everyone left, Spider-Gwen stopped the thug to give the lady's purse back. But this will be the last time we see Spider-Gwen because unfortunately, she animorphs into this disgusting thing. Attempting to eat Peter's face, almost look like she's trying to kiss him, terrorizing the city, attempting to eat Peter's face again, and oh, she's cured. Times have passed after the spider outbreak and Norman Osborn's death. Almost getting killed from one of the clankers Doc Ock destroyed, he saves her, gets tortured, and kidnapped. This girl has been through a lot, fam. Not as worse as Peter and Harry, but it sure is gonna get disturbing. Anya and Gwen were working together on their project for Open House. It's been a wild year since everyone gained spider powers and lost them, but not everyone loses them. Gwen feels a little jealous now that her friends are the only ones who possess spider powers. After Spider-Man's absence, Gwen was getting pissed off with Peter after calling him 4 times because they had a blood gym to study together.
So whatever you're doing, please stop doing it and call me.
But what about Miles and Anya? Miles is teaching Anya while they're patrolling the city, so she's doing this solo. Peter, this is the 5th time I'm calling you. If you don't respond or get your ass over here, all of this glorious credit is going to me. Scorpion?
How do you know my name?
Bro, everyone knows your name. You're all over the news. You think I'm gonna give a criminal something with unknown power?
Yeah, cause how you gonna stop me?
Yeah, that's a real good question.
Ooh, a microscope. I'm so scared.
Spider-Girl warns Gwen to run, but she doesn't want to leave and wants to help. And do what? And do what? You're not a heroine anymore! You gonna die! Scorpion breaks himself free from those weak-ass webs and rock their shit.
I fought the real Spider-Man, kiddos! You ain't him!
Am I really that ass? Gwen hides in the classroom and made a genius decision. Put her phone in the case underneath the blood gem so she can ping the location to get it back.
Stop playing games and give me the damn gem, you brat.
Scorpion escapes with the blood gem, which is not good. And what else isn't good is right after Gwen explains why the Scorpion was after the blood gem. They didn't even let her finish and chase after him with no GPS. Sure, Gwen is powerless, but that doesn't mean she can't help them find the blood gem. But the spider tracker, Miles didn't have it on him. Now that these two dum-dums are gonna be thwipping in circles, she handled it herself. Gwen sneaks into the Tinkerer hidden lab, overhearing their conversation. I still can't get over this man's voice.
I'm sure. That's why this partnership works so well. My brains and your brute strength.
They find Gwen's phone, which is not good for them, so the Scorpion destroys it.
It was brand new.
Too bad.
Scorpion was getting impatient with the Tinkerer till Gwen gets the chance to steal it back. Scorpion swung his long-ass tail at her to drop the weapon, and gets shot by it.
What happened to me?
But the moment Scorpion realized nothing happened, the Tinkerer gets smacked for gaslighting him, giving Gwen enough time to escape. Scorpion wasn't gonna let an eyewitness snitch on them. Things were gonna get gruesome until she sticks to the wall. Thanks to the blood gem restoring Gwen's powers, when in reality the bloodstone bestows people's powers. A tier for Scorpion, cause this man was playing no games when he started brawling with the spiders. But I'm not gonna change his tier, cause Gwen's just straight up disrespected my man, hopping across his head to race Tinkerer for the blood gem. Gwen loses her balance after dodging Scorpion's acid as she met her demise, and a fly. Bullshit. But I'm gonna be honest, that was pretty cool. But in no way that is possible to be lifting your jacket this high to be gliding like this. She escapes, and now they're on a manhunt to get this girl. Even Miles has so many questions, cause what the fuck just happened? I don't know, maybe if y'all just listen, none of the drivers wouldn't be losing their cars. Speaking of which, if one of these drivers waiting at the red light were terrible drivers, I don't care. They trapped him in a bunch of webs, and to make sure he stayed down, dropped a giant billboard on him. High fives for everyone, but they're confused as I am. Why did they retcon the blood gem for this show in general? To restore Gwen's powers back, instead of, you know, get bitten by a radioactive spider, but they're dead now. But no, it's for the merchant continuity, so why not? Gwen missed her powers so much, but Anya was concerned about it. Anya, Gwen had it longer than you before the outbreak, so you have no bragging rights to say that she should take this seriously because she already knows that. As they were getting to the station, Scorpion breaks out and swept the officers to get his payback, and the Tinkerer was waiting for them. So you're the Tinker Spidey was talking about in a mech suit. This gotta be one of the most blandest mechs I've ever seen compared to the other CGI Gundam mech suits in this show. Well, it's not fair for you to answer because you just fought me. Did the rest of you recognize me? No! None of them know you! Tinker blasts at Gwen as she was showing off, but the gun got untangled from her back.
Now prepare for real power!
I'm not an evil mastermind, but making us more powerful probably isn't a winning plan for you.
Does she know what he's about to do? Scorpion slams his tail to crush them, but everyone dodged it.
Are you sure you missed all this? Well, not this part exactly.
I mean, you said you missed it, so this is what you wished for? Gwen gets payback, weaving from getting smashed and hit by another car, and taking back the blood gem. Gwen missed spending more time with her friends after they gained spider powers. She just felt left out. And like, I can understand and relate, but I don't think risking your life is the best narrative for the message. And that blame goes to Anya and Miles, mostly Miles because he brushed it off after he heard blood gem. And Anya didn't want her to get hurt when Gwen was literally about to tell them Scorpion's coordinates. Scorpion tosses another car at them and shows off one of his new moves with a weak animation. Give us more of that low swing, fam, cause what is this? The blood gem falls out. Huh?
You better put my power source down and give it back, you little girl.
Spider-Girl and Spider-Man are now defeated. Now it's only Gwen who has to stop these two. The only option was to destroy that shit. Scorpion was back to being puny, but Gwen?
Wow, nice to see you guys care so much.
But nah, explain how the hell you still have your powers.
Maybe being directly at the gem's blast point, I absorbed a massive amount of its energy, re-energizing my dormant powers? So you're thinking you became your own power source? Intense.
I guess? But still, this feels kind of forced because of the stone they decided to retcon in Marvel Spider-Man 2017, so Gwen can get her powers back.
But guys, I can't believe it.
What do you mean? The street is wrecked! But whatever, because Ghost Spider is back. Pete is back, but Gwen isn't surprised. No, she just doesn't want to see his stupid face because of how he treated her and her friends and was suspicious, assuming that he could be part of the Goblin Nation. Newsflash, he wasn't.
Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
But for Otto, Not so much. Not after what he did to them. So of course he isn't gonna get any respect from them. But I am so sick and tired of Gwen ego tripping to say all of this because Anya thinks it might be a good idea to team up with Spider-Man, but Gwen has the nerve to say just because he has powers first doesn't mean he's the smartest. Fam! Anya said he has all the clues! This girl hasn't even changed a bit with the stupid ego of hers! They go after the lone goblin member, but he breaks free and shocks them out the building. Ghost Spider catches Spider-Girl and glides with style.
What? You should be dead!
This moment that he knew, he fucked up.
As Ghost Spider and Spider-Girl were locating the Goblin Nation, they alert the goblins.
This is not the way to treat someone. Let me show you how superheroes say hello.
Oh, but they were not out of the battle yet, because Electro shows up to back up her gang. Francie, Fryer, Electro. Long story.
Are you sure you want sarcastic remarks to be your last words? Better than...
What the fuck was that? Ain't no way they kept Laura Bailey's lines for this, fam. Ain't no way. Electra wasn't gonna take the disrespect, and she was ready to turn them into spider fries. But I spoke too soon. Like literally.
No spider people in pajamas are gonna beat a bunch of goblin games.
For the record, I do not sleep in my costume. For those two. I do not! Okay, sometimes not. Shut up! They escaped in the sewer.
Sewer? Really?
Do you wanna die? Oh boy, season 3. It was an improvement. But it was unfriendly to your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And after Dr. Connor snitched on Peter, it was not gonna be pretty. In fact, she was actually pissed off that he never told them. Except for Miles, because he was seeing some shit when he got tranquilized. Until I realized Gwen's uncle was evil, betrayed. Otto tricked them with his second chance card to use them as a lab rat. Manipulated. And Peter never told her he was Spider-Man. Gaslighted. This girl has trust issues, which is totally normal. But I'm still not gonna let it slide, as they didn't understand why Peter never told them from the beginning. And Anya has been saying that before and after Gwen got her powers, because they don't want their friends or family to get hurt. But nope. Let's get mad and ignore Peter because he never told them he was Spider-Man. I don't want to yap for too long because of these two, but gosh, their interaction after Spidey's face reveal was messy. Dr. Connors unfortunately has the ownership to Horizon High, and he's hiding something underneath the school.
Oh shit, here we go again.
So Gwen and Peter go to investigate the Jackal's hidden lab inside the warehouse. And it's empty. But no worries, because your boy Spidey made a new gadget for this kind of occasion.
Web dusting.
Which leads them to a hidden elevator. He uses the web dust again for the fingerprints, which you would assume would be an easy task, but he did it wrong.
You do know that means 256 possible 4-button combinations, 1,024 5-button combinations, and 4,096 6-button
combination.
Gwen figures it out, and they're lucky to see another day.
My uncle's actions should put him in prison. I can't lose hope there's still a good man inside.
Gwen, I don't think he'll ever be good. Spider-Man gets jump scared by a goblin shark. I hate goblin sharks. I'm sorry, I just don't like them. All the tubes were empty, but one has broken out. Don't tell me he made land sharks.
Lord have mercy!
Ghost Spider helps Spidey, but they get low kicked, and they're now cornered. Probably might be the best time to leave. Oh, you got to be kidding me!
I knew Raymond Warren would be here.
I don't use that name anymore.
Damn, he was already ahead of them. He just let his babies out to eat and dipped. They toss them back to their tubes to evaporate the land goblin sharks, while the Jackal was destroying his shit to hide any evidence.
I see you made through my flawed experiments.
Finding the perfect balance of evolution is never easy. Neither is finding new schemes. Building your hideous monster army? Ha! A monster army? That's what you think I've been doing? You have no idea the enormities of the plan underfoot. I've been searching for you for a long time. You need to return to your family. You need help. Ha! Help? What damn help? My brilliant minds? My superior genetics? Or my revolutionary breakthrough and the possibilities of evolution? No, child. It is you who needs help. Oh my god, he cooked her with those lines. He said, fuck family, I can make things evolve. The Jackal escapes to lead them to drown. Now is not the time.
Norman Osborn?
He's not alone. So to make this fight easy for him, he gets everyone pit against their own ops. And Gwen's ops is the Jackal. Gwen couldn't believe she was the only one who had to take her uncle down. She follows him back to his abandoned house.
You better stop! Stop! Bitch, stop!
Wish I could get you to see things my way.
Hey, yo!
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
This is fucked up, fam. Why does Gwen and Peter have to get harassed in this episode? Is this even allowed? Now, you could say she should have sensed it with her spider sense, but Jackal was not worried about that, bro. He knows how to get around that. Gwen couldn't even free herself from it, as the Jackal was preparing to turn her to be just like him. There was nothing she could do.
Man, you take creepy mad scientists to the next level, don't you?
The goat has spawned!
The goat!
The Sinister Four lost and were sent to prison. Max is back, and I guess it's time for some smoothies. And the symbiote's taking over the world again. My thoughts with Gwen Stacy. She's been helpful to Peter and her friends most of the time. Disabling systems, tech, dancing lessons. Capable of defending herself without her powers. Don't even get me started when she got her powers back from the stupid blood gem. The writers decided to retcon for this specific event. Like, Gwen could have used a spider on herself because she was feeling left out. Stupid suggestion, but it's a lot better than using a gem the Tinker wanted to use on the Scorpion so they can wreck the place, steal money, and get revenge. But instead, have her risk her own life to get it back along while this is happening. Matter of fact, she feels rushed getting her powers. All of them are, but hers was way worse. But another thing that bothers me is where the fuck is Captain George Stacy? Gwen's father. Like, honestly, we could have seen some conflict between the two with the whole power BS convo.